Welcome, story lovers, to a tale of fire, friendship, and finding courage where you least expect it. Far across the sea, on a wind-swept, rocky island called Berk, lived a village of tough, brawny Vikings. For generations, these Vikings had one job: fighting dragons. These massive beasts would descend from the sky, breathing fire, snatching sheep, and turning their homes to ash. To be a true Viking meant being a dragon slayer. But among these burly warriors was a boy named Hiccup. He wasn't big, he wasn't strong, and he was, well, a little clumsy. As the son of the village chief, stoic the vast, the pressure was on. Everyone expected a mighty hero, but Hiccup's attempts to help usually ended in spectacular accidents. The villagers whispered and sighed, wondering if he'd ever fit in. One night, during a chaotic dragon raid, Hiccup decided he'd had enough. He wasn't going to be the village screw-up anymore. Using a quirky catapult-like invention, he aimed for the sky and fired. Incredibly, he hit the most mysterious and feared dragon of all, the Night Fury, a creature so fast and deadly no one had ever even seen one and lived to tell the tale. Filled with a mix of terror and excitement, Hiccup ventured into the forest to find his prize. There it was, tangled in his ropes, a sleek, black dragon. This was his chance to prove himself, to finally become the Viking he was supposed to be. But as he raised his knife and looked into the dragon's wide, intelligent eyes, he didn't see a monster. He saw fear. In that moment, Hiccup made a choice that would change everything. He cut the ropes and set the dragon free. The Night Fury scrambled away, but its tail had been badly injured in the crash. It was grounded. Hiccup couldn't stay away. He kept returning to the forest, bringing fish and a whole lot of patience. Slowly, cautiously, a bond began to form between the boy and the beast. Hiccup named him Toothless because of his retractable teeth. He learned that dragons weren't just mindless brutes. They were curious, playful, and complex creatures. Hiccup, being a gifted inventor, crafted a prosthetic tail fin for Toothless. But it needed a rider to operate it. Together, they took to the skies. Hiccup and Toothless, a boy who never fit in and a dragon who couldn't fly alone, found a freedom and a friendship that soared beyond their wildest dreams. Meanwhile, back in the village, Hiccup was forced into dragon fighting training with the other Viking teens, including the fierce and talented Astrid. While everyone else used brute force, Hiccup used his newfound knowledge. He gently calmed the dragons, disarming them with a scratch under the chin or a reflection on a shield. The villagers were stunned by his success, but nobody understood how he was doing it. Astrid, however, was smart and suspicious. She followed Hiccup into the woods and discovered his secret, Toothless. Initially terrified, she was convinced to go for a ride. As they flew through the clouds, her fear turned to wonder. She finally saw what Hiccup saw. Dragons weren't the enemy, but their newfound peace was short-lived. The Vikings, led by Hiccup's father, captured Toothless and used him to find the dragon's nest, determined to wipe them out for good. What they discovered was a horrifying truth. The dragons weren't stealing food for themselves. They were being forced to feed a colossal, tyrannical beast known as the Red Death. This monstrous queen ruled through fear, devouring any dragon that failed her. The Vikings' attack against this behemoth was a disaster. They were completely outmatched. Just when all hope seemed lost, Hiccup and Toothless swooped in. Working as one, they led the Red Death on a daring chase through the sky, using its own fire against it. In a final, explosive confrontation, they defeated the monster. But their victory came at a great price. Hiccup was injured protecting Toothless in the fall. When he awoke, he found he had lost his lower leg, but he wasn't broken. In a beautiful twist of fate, he and Toothless now mirrored each other. The dragon needed a rider to fly, and the boy needed his friend to help him walk. They completed each other. From that day on, the island of Berk was transformed. The war was over. Vikings and dragons learned to live together, not as enemies, but as partners. And Hiccup, the small, clumsy boy who everyone had underestimated, became the greatest hero of them all. He didn't earn his place by destroying a dragon, but by befriending one. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing tales. Until next time, keep your hearts open and your spirits soaring.